Good evening, once again from my kitchen table. I have tea tonight. Delicious. Thank you all for tuning in. This is part 2 of the tackle talks that I'm doing this spring. Not going to guarantee that there won't be more. I'm not going to guarantee that plans won't change with the way that I have these tackle talks more or less constructed. But as of right now, I've got 2 planned, and this is part 2. You've seen the part 1, which is kind of like the bucktail swim baits thing. This one's going to be more focused centrally on like your dive and rise type baits, and then I have even one Topwater Walk The Dog in there as well. Anyway, without further ado, let me dive right into these. So, first one, as far as baits I'm excited for 23, I'm pretty sure this has been in the lineup of baits I'm excited for the last, I don't know, 3 years, 4 years. Pandemonium Tackle SRJ. I love them. They're awesome. They produce tons of fish. They're an awesome dive and rise. They are molded resin, so they last a lot longer than wood. They hold up incredibly well. This is one of the few that I own that I haven't actually caught anything on, but has had follows and some swing and misses at the boat. I'm planning on getting it eaten this spring, but nonetheless, always pumped about the SRJ. I love them. They work incredibly well. I'll definitely include some clips, but just that perch pattern, crappie pattern, whatever you want to call it, looks wonderful. Kevin Abendroth does an excellent job with these baits. I've had several people offer to buy some of my SRJs, and I'm sorry, they aren't for sale. They're hard to get your hands on. I love them. There's a reason that they're hard to get your hands on. They take a lot of time and effort on Kevin's part to put out, and they work really, really good. So no one wants to get rid of them, which I don't either. So that makes a lot of sense. All right, moving in to some more of these baits that I have that I'm excited about. Okay, so Bucko, awesome dude, sent me a care package this winter when I was feeling a little down and a little depressed about the state of the winter and seasonal progression. But he brought me right out of it with a beautiful care package of some baits. This is his new 6-inch, if the camera will focus here. Wow, that looks really good. Oh my gosh. All right, his new 6-inch with the weight insert. He's just started doing these. He started doing the weight inserts with the 8-inch last year. Sent me one with a 12-inch with the weight insert as well. He's really dialed in this process of these weight insert baits. I am so pumped to throw this little 6-incher in the spring. I really wish that I had my hands on the 6-incher that he sent me in about June. I wish I had that about a month earlier last year, because when I was fishing with Brian and Ben, those fish were so keyed in on those like little 6 to 8-inch profiles that these would have just been absolute money at that time, and it would have been something different that those fish hadn't seen before that would have just really I think made the difference in the day. Granted, I'm not going to throw like a dive and rise behind Brian while he's doing his 8-inch navin thing, because dude is just a pro at him. So anyway, looking forward to chucking that in the spring. Moving on to the next one here from Bucko with this care package. I've got a little 5-inch Topwater Walk The Dog. This thing looks awesome. And here in the home state, there is a window in the spring where these fish absolutely crush Topwater Walk The Dogs. I shouldn't say crush for me, but for other people at least. I've had some success, had a lot of follows on Topwater Walk The Dogs here in the spring. Had some swing and misses, but no eats as of yet. But looking to change that this spring, and I think this 5-inch profile is going to be perfect for some of the waters that I fish. Really looking forward to chucking that thing, especially because that 5-inch profile is a little bit bigger than some of the bass style stuff, a little bit smaller than a lot of the musky stuff that is getting chucked around. Moving into the next thing on the list, next bait on the list, Bucko's 10-inch. I'm gonna have trouble fitting it all in frame. But this is another one of his that is weighted. Got the weight inserts, You can weight it how you need to weight it. These things have a phenomenal side to side and a little bit of belly roll. The only thing I will say about these is they don't tend to get quite as deep as the Navins, which can be a really good thing depending on the depth of the weeds that you're working or the depth of the water column you're trying to target. They do a phenomenal job over some of that more shallow cover or some of those shallower weedy areas. But if you're looking for a bait that is gonna work in like down to 6 foot, I haven't experimented with the weights, but that might be the difference maker for some of his baits that initially wouldn't get down quite as deep as that. Really looking forward to chucking this 10-incher. I mean, these things are just absolute works of art. I mean, Bucko does such a good job with these, it's insane. He told me when he sent me this one that he thought about keeping this one for himself, and I could not be happier that he didn't do that. So really looking forward to chucking that one in the North Woods, well, in Iowa, whatever, just looking forward to throwing it around. All right, so again, we got another one here. This is a Bangarang 6-inch from Nick Maltby. I don't have any affiliation with Nick or Bangarang baits. I think their baits are just cool, and they have an interesting profile that isn't met by a lot of baits. Again, they've got an adjustable weight insert. I didn't have the 6-inch last year, again, when I really would have liked to have had it when it was really going to be a productive profile. The thing with the Bangarangs that I do appreciate as I threw them around a little bit is they do get a little bit deeper than some of your standard diving rice. I mean, they'll kind of get down to that 6 to 8 foot water column area, and they do a pretty good job in that zone, which is a cool thing. So again, these are a really cool, pretty unique bait as far as the Dive and Rise program is concerned. And it just kind of like, as you go through the different baits, there's just different, you know, you've got different styles, different profiles, you know, where they're gonna target, in what water column. There's just all kinds of different stuff to consider. And as I've been told by some of my musky mentors, ouch, that one got me in the finger, Steve Jonasy, you know, they're all tools. They all serve a different purpose, and they have, you know, a place throughout the water column, given the time of year, given the time of presentation. Again, like your SRJs, you know, this is gonna be probably shallower than your Bucko, and your Bucko is probably gonna be a hair's bit shallower than your freight style lures. But again, it's just all about what you have confidence in, all about your preference. I'm fortunate to work with some awesome dudes, fortunate to have access to some really cool baits. Last on my list of baits for this evening, we've got the 8-inch freight from Bucko. I have one of his 8-inch freights in kind of a walleye color. I threw it around a lot this summer. Didn't get it eaten last year, kind of a similar to a Bucko thing. Like, they were moving fish when fish didn't want to move, but I still couldn't get them to eat. And then when they were eating really well, I was throwing different stuff. So it's not a slight on any of those guys. The baits run awesome. Baits run really, really well. I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, we know, if you've watched any of my videos, how much those Northwoods fish love to eat pike. So I think that this 8-inch will do the job. Come on, camera. There you go. So really looking forward to chucking all of those this year. I just hope that I have, you know, I can only throw one thing at a time. Hopefully with some of the people that I have in my boat, prospective guide trips that I may have, you know, we'll be able to get all of those wet, get all of them chewed, get them all eaten. It'll be great. Really looking forward to 23. It's gonna be great. I cannot wait. I think this season is gonna be phenomenal. I've made some connections with some awesome dudes. I'm speaking 100 miles a minute because I'm just like sitting here the end of February, the ice is crap, just chomping at the bit, ready to get rocking and rolling for the 2023 season. But my tackle talk is not done yet. Last thing on the list that I want to talk about, Rex St. Pierre's, or Alex I think is what he goes by, his Barbarian Braid. I am really looking forward to chucking this stuff this year. He sent me a care package via Glenn. Again, I can't thank Glenn enough for hooking me up with some of these guys from Canada who are just really good dudes, who love catching big muskies, who have a soft spot in their hearts for us little Midwestern guys who can't chase, 57 inches all the time. Anyway, neither here nor there. Really looking forward to chucking this stuff. For comparison's sake, this is the 90 pound. This is the 90 pound strength, and I was stripping off 80 pound Cortland, 100 pound Cortland. Again, never had any issues with Cortland, but if someone is willing to invest in me as a creator, as a fisherman, I am going to pay that investment forward with like using their stuff and appreciating the risk that they're taking on by involving me. And anyway, neither here nor there. The point that I'm trying to make is that the 90 pound Barbarian Braid is very similar in width to 80 pound Cortland. It is thinner than the 100 pound Cortland. Rex tells me that the 90 pound has an actual tensile strength closer to 110 compared to that of other braids that he has tested it against. So we're gonna give it a shot. I know Glenn's been running it for 2 or 3 years now. A lot of Canadian guys that I talk to have been running it for as long. And then I know that Brian's been running it the last 1.5 years and has had no issues. So it was a pretty easy leap of faith for me to take. So Rex, I appreciate it. I appreciate all of the bait makers that send me stuff, who invest in me and take a risk on me. So I cannot express my appreciation enough for guys like Bucko and Matt and Kevin and just all the guys from Chaos, Vince and Trevor, putting their faith in me to catch fish and put out legitimate content. So again, I greatly appreciate all of you guys for watching. If you'd be so kind, please consider subscribing, and I'll catch you in the next one.